guess all of this is a very confusing subject. Mm-hmm. It's not, when somebody's submitting an offer to a contract, they're sort of visualizing themselves in the community and what they're going to do to the house and how they'll, raise the family or where the dog will be. They very rarely think, well, what are the taxes going to be, next year?
Because they see that number on the listing and they figured it all out and they figured out their monthly payment. Their mortgage person has calculated that in. They just look and go, that's going to be my payment.
Yeah.
But
and it's a bit scary because even if that payment is what the payment is currently, so most contracts will say the tax prorations are based on the last ascertainable tax year. So that word ascertainable, really all it does is it makes it clear that it has to be both installments. So for Cook County, for example, you'll get an installment in the spring and one in the fall. Sometimes the fall one in the last few years has been delayed into the winter. But that tax bill, we need two of them to be ascertainable. We need a full year. And so right now, for example, a few days ago, the first installment tax bill for 2023 came out. But it doesn't mean that second installment bill is out, because the second installment bill is where the newly assessed value will show up. So where it creates the risk for clients is that we'll look and we'll see. And sometimes people will even say, well, the 2023 bill is out. I'm just going to double that. And, that's kind of roughly what I think, the bill will be for 2023. But that's not correct in the south and southwest suburbs, because that 2023 reassessment took place. It'll show up on the second half bill. So it'll show up in the second half of 2024. So where it creates the risk is, if we're just doing sort of run-of-the-mill 105% and we don't really look at the potential exposure, we might find out that the tax bill that comes out for the time that the seller owned the property, so we're talking about the second half of 2023, the seller owned the property during that time, but we're finding out that what we get at closing is insufficient to cover that amount, because instead of going up 5%, it might have gone up 25, 30, 40%. So that's where it creates that risk, and it requires a little bit of analysis. Now,